Hey everyone, this is Steve Marquez from Calvary Chapel Fort Smith, the beautiful Calvary Chapel Fort Smith Sanctuary. And I'm here with Pastor Chris Reif, and we're excited about what has happened over the last few months. This guy called me out of the blue, and so I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about what happened and how he became the pastor here.
All right, a few months ago, my wife and I started praying on a calling that I had received from God to step out and become a pastor. And through a sequence of events that could only be led by the Spirit, I started looking into Arkansas and ended up finding out that there was a pastor in Arkansas that needed help and may be stepping down. I listened to his sermons online and fell in love with him, the ministry that he had here, and his congregation. So we decided to plan a trip out here and met Pastor Steve, and again, it was a spirit-filled weekend, and we just saw God continually moving and ended up coming out here.
So what was really interesting is that when you called, I asked you, what do you do at your church?
Yeah.
And you told me an elder, and that you did radio.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, oh man, radio, he's going to try to sell me some radio time. And so I went to the meeting and talked to him, and I fell in love with him and his wife. And then he told me that what he just said. And so I called back home to Monica and I said, you'll never guess what that meeting was about. And she said, he wants to be the pastor of Calvary Chapel Fort Smith. And that blew my mind, because I was like, how did you know that? How in the world did you know that was the case? And she did. And from that moment on, we knew that the Holy Spirit was working in this. So this crazy guy is almost as crazy as we are. So they go out and they look just to see what the market's like in buying a house, and he buys a house. And before he even knew that he was going to come out here, and that's faith. And that's what Calvary Chapel Fort Smith needs, is faith. And so we're excited about what's going to happen in the ministry and what exactly, where it's going to go to. Now, one of the most interesting things for me is that Chris is military, and we just happen to be on a military base. So we're on the inactive side, and then there's an active side just on the other side, Fort Chaffee. And so it's very interesting to me, because this man knows intimately about what these guys go through. And a lot of them will be moving here for 6 weeks or maybe a summer. They're going to be stationed here training. They're going to need someone like him. And so I'd like to talk maybe just a little bit about that real quick.
Yeah, I've spent 20 years in the military and recently retired from that, and my heart has been towards serving those that serve in the military. It was at a memorial service for my grandmother that I realized that was the first memorial service where I knew where the person was going to end up, and that was in heaven. And I had served with people for over 10 years at that point in time, and realized, as close as they were to me, I never knew the answer to that question. And from that moment forward, I stepped out into ministry hoping to serve those that I served with or that were just serving the military in a whole. And when I followed this call to come out here, we didn't realize that this was still as active of a military town as it is. And my wife and I, we get to see the C-130s flying over, and we'll see the Chinook helicopters coming in. And we'll every now and then hear them shooting on the range out there. And it brings a smile to our face, because we feel like we're at home. And we realize that there is a community to reach here, and my heart is just open for all those that have served, and I'm delighted to know that we can continue to serve them and follow the call that God gave us at the same time.
Is that Heather was also in the military.
Yeah.
And that doesn't always happen, where the husband and the wife are both military. And for a significant time. It wasn't just like she was in for, her whatever she needed to do and then get out. She was military. And then, so one of the funniest things is the other day, him and I were going over some stuff, and she had the kids out doing lunges and doing all kinds of stuff, and and exercising, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, they actually pulled me out yesterday and tried to have me do the same thing. I didn't have the heart for it, but they did it on their own.
Wow, that's great. So, okay, well, that's great. And then as far as us, we will be leaving Monday morning, and we're going to be driving out to California, and we're going to make a few stops along the way, and so we'd appreciate your prayers as well. And we should be in California by Friday, and then we're going to go to the Pastors Conference, and it should be fantastic. We're really looking forward to that. And then once we get out in California, get settled a little bit, we'll do another video. So I just want to introduce you to Pastor Chris Reif, and he's going to do great here. I'm really excited, so it's going to be awesome. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.